Hello everyone, it is Jacob and this will be part 5 of my Carino progression. This will be the first part when I'm swapping into Icelandsis, and this will be the budget, and this exact build will be the budget that me personally would recommend to swap into Icelandsis the earliest, because this setup that I will show you will net you pretty much the same damage output as the shadow shot with the same gear. And swapping to Icelandsis actually requires a bit of a preparation because you need more sources of jumps. And yeah, I will go over hopefully over everything in this video. If I forgot something, I will, and I remember it later, I will put it into description of the video, so make sure you check the description as well, just in case I forgot to mention something. Yeah, let's hop into it. First, the weapons. Pretty much the same weapons, just tier 1. For tier 1, you want to get item level 86 and up. So that's that. And I would highly recommend getting you bases with reaping cooldown sequence, and at 80 base build damage sequence. So those would be 2 bases that you get, and the mods on the items pretty much the same as the tier 2 I showed in the previous video, just upping into tier 1 here. Base build damage and reap are the most important ones, and reap duration are the most important to roll first. How I craft the items is that I buy the base. It was not cheap, and it is not cheap most of the times. But you buy the base with the sequence you want, and then I start crafting tier 2 just to get the same weapon as I had before with the sequence now. And then once I have the weapon tier 2, I start upgrading it into tier 1 as I get the currency for it. Other upgrades I did, crafted amulet, tier 2, so item level 82 up to item level 85, max energy, shield, intelligence, and resistances, and tier 2 ring as well, item level 82 up to item level 85, and again, energy, shield, intelligence, resistances. And the rest of the gear stayed the same. I got the Evil Heart armor. I showed that briefly in the last version as well. So that provides you with vials, so you can start scaling critical strike damage into additional element damage. And that's pretty much it for the gear. For memories, intelligence with reaping cooldown wherever possible, critical strike damage, spell critical strike damage, call skill critical strike damage, scale through vial into additional element damage, so that helps. Then energy shield, reaping cooldown, crit damage, cold crit, block chance also great. You could use block chance later on, so if you get spell or attack block chance, as I rolled here, keep it, but try to get reap cooldown wherever possible. For the jumps, to prepare to have enough jumps, you want to get jump, or you can get jump on a candle, and you want to get at least 8 jumps, at least 8, to have similar damage output as with the shadow shot. Now, there isn't like a summary of jumps in the stats anywhere, so you have to count it. So let's count it together now. 1 from candle, then 2 from jump support, that's 3, 1 from Icelandsis, that's 4, and then I have 1, 2, 3 here, that's 7, And then you get another 2 from level 3 lethal interval hero trait. Level 1 and 2 only gives you 1 jump, so that would put you to 8. And once you level it to level 3, so when you get red memory and you level that to level 50, you get level 3 trait and you will get 1 extra jump. Why 8 jumps? Every even number of jumps will net you more single target damage, because every second jump jumps the projectile back to the monster it jumped from, when in a single target scenario. For clear, the more jumps you get, the better. Now, the base version of jumps, when you are not using ice lenses, requires you at least 3 monsters to be able to jump back to the original target. When you use ice lenses and you use rebound support, you are able to use jumps to increase your single target damage, because every time this lets ice lenses to jump out of the ground back to the original target. So after jumping off the ground, they can jump towards enemies they have hit before. So this is why every second jump will net you more damage on single target. As you can notice here, I have a medium rhythm also, so this version of the build also comes with quality of life, because you don't have to self-cast the skill anymore. 0.3 rhythms are going for around 1.6k. It is like that for the past 3 days, so yeah, I guess they will go a little bit lower over time, but not much. They will stay around 1k anyway. So the main links, ice lenses with rhythm, jump, rebound, multiple projectiles, and bounce. Ice lenses bounce, which will give you additional damage for every jump you have. And then the support skills stayed pretty much the same. Black Hole with Preparation, Reaping Agony, and Mass Effect. Mass Effect here is okay as long as you're using Preparation. If you are not using Preparation anymore and you have a higher budget, which I will show in the next video, you want to swap this into...
It's my duty to
what is it called? Spell for Battle. Now for the movement skill, either Shadow Dash for more control through slow, or Blink for more mobility, Magic Dash quick mobility, cooldown reduction, Corruption Curse with Preparation, so it gets automatically cast every 8 seconds, Terrain of Malice, so it makes it an aura around you, and then Extended Duration to give it more uptime. With this setup, the curse is up pretty much all the time. There's like under 1 second downtime on it. For the force start, Preparation, defense layers, and either cooldown reduction or all in, or iron fortification. Auras, erosion amplification with aura amp restraint and increased area. Why? I explained in the last video, so check that there. Corrosion focus, Reaping Agony, Grudge, and focus buff. Right here, I would like to tell you that if you don't have lightning damage on your ring, then you want to support Corrosion Imbue with added lightning damage to get a source of numbed on the target. So let's note it there. Deep Pain, Aura Amplification, Restrain, or Increased Area. And Increased Area, if you really struggle with survivability, keep using Energy Fortress here. But with the setup that I have here, the Energy Fortress shouldn't be needed anymore. You should have around 7k ES anyway, already. So Deep Pain for a bit more damage. And the last aura would be Precise Projectiles with Aura Amp, Seal Conversion, and Restrain. Seal Conversion makes it reserved on life instead of mana, so that's the 4th support skill we have here. For Pact Spirits, I went over Pact Spirits deep in part 2 of the series, so check it there. I mentioned some other options as well, but what I would like to note here, if you have Iron Lion, which will provide you with extra 2 projectiles, you can completely swap all the other nodes into damage overtime nodes by using Reaping Duration micro fades, like 6 of them here, and then for budget version, Reaping Duration medium fades. If you would like to spend thousands more, there are really useful kismets that you can swap these Reaping Duration medium fades with. But that's a topic for a next video, or maybe one after that even, because that's really high. Not high, but well higher budget than this one. Then Fire Swordsmen here have the Reaping Duration as well, because the original effect gives you chance to cause elements, but we are using talent that guarantees us inflicting elements, so the element chance does really nothing for us, so I'm swapping them with Reaping Duration as well. If you have other Pact spirits, like for example Poisonous Omen, which would let you use 2 curses, you can do pretty much the same. So swap any Pact Spirit nodes that the build don't really need with Reaping Duration, and you should be good to go. And if you feel like, damage overtime nodes are helpful, but if you have the budget for it and you don't have like enough useless nodes to swap into Reaping Duration, swapping these into Reaping Duration will net you more damage as well, because Reaping Duration is really high value for damage, let's say. Then for talents, let's go over them really quickly. They stayed pretty much the same. As I said in the previous video, I already started preparing for this swap for the armor with Vile, so critical strike damage in Goddess of Deception, because there's really nothing better than that damage-wise. In Lich, stayed the same as in the last video, so max energy shield, affliction effect, max energy shield, blur effect. Definitely take these, because blur is a huge defensive layer. And then +1 skills, cooldown, not necessary. If you want more damage, swap these 4 points into Warlock and take this. So it's more damage here and even more damage here. And then 1 point in shield compensation, because with the setup that I have, the 1 point in steel compensation lets you use this setup and reserve it on life. Then we go into Psychic. I'm still using the more with less boots, so not taking that, still using Windwalk. But in higher budget, you will swap into different boots and you will get more with less here. Then max energy shield, affliction, reap duration, really important. Reap cooldown, really important as well. And then affliction source. You could consider swapping these points into something else later on. But the -8% all resistance is really valuable in longer fights. In Warlock, we are taking Dirty Tricks, which guarantees to inflict all types of ailments on hit. So whenever you have a source of damage in ailment, which is Trauma, Ignite, and Wilt, you will inflict it, and you have the damage source of that from armor, because the armor provides you with 3 points of base Trauma, Ignite, and Wilt damage. So those are inflicted there. But for Frostbite, Freeze, and Numbed, you need to have a source of that specific elemental damage. So Frostbite and Freeze is inflicted through cold damage. which is covered by using ice lenses, and numbed requires you to have a source of lightning damage, which I have on the ring at this version of the build, but later on you will get a better ring with better crafts, and you will want to swap the focus imbue for lightning damage support on the corrosion focus passive skill. So it is that. And eventually you will want to get days on pedigree as well. Pedigree for now, 3 birds with 1 stone. I will show you what other pedigrees could be useful for the build. So you will want to get a pedigree with days, because having the 40% increased effect of control effects is just crazy good defensive layers, because you are inflicting slow, paralysis, and frostbite. All of those 3 are considered control effects, so the days 40% increases the effectiveness of those. And then you would want to pair it with either plague, more with less rush, free bird with 1 stone, 2 extra projectiles, affliction, dirt, beyond cure, conductive, and winter. Winter is useful, but any of the previous ones would be better, and conductive would require you to get a specific skill setup that would let you stack enough numbed stack on targets. So conductive would be great, but later on in the build progression. And those pedigrees for now are going for around 1.5k, as you can see here. So yeah, that is that.
There are no eternal thrones.
And did I go over everything? So I got 3 corners. I got this one with jump and the energy regen and energy shield recovery on severe injury with jump. Then another corner with jump as well, and anything useful really. So this has a chance to restore energy shield on block. And then Fallen Starlight with jump as well. If you can, try to get the jumps on the bottom of as a last mod on the slates. So as you can notice here, all 3 of them are the last mod, because eventually you will be able to copy them through Spark and mods. But that's a topic for a future video. I'm still using the divinity slates that I had in 2 previous videos. So blur effect, definitely great, try to get that. And then erosion damage per stack of wilt, and erosion damage per stack of wilt. If you want to start preparing for future upgrades as well, try to get the gain 5 stacks of gain blur per 5 stacks of wilt inflicted. That would be worded like that. This gains blur per 5 stacks of wilt inflicted, because we will be swapping our boots into Valeries in the future. So a little sneak peek to the future. You will want to get these boots as the next upgrade, which will give you stealth step instead of the more with less. So you would get more with less from passive tree. And for these boots to work right, you want to get the blur per 5 stacks of build inflicted mod on a slate. So yeah, the build in the big builds that I showed you should net you, if you got the same setup, should net you around 40 to 60 billion DPS, I believe. Was it billions or millions? I'm not sure. But enough to clear 8-point Su maps. And my current build, if you found me in the hero rankings, I'm now going around 100 bill, which is almost enough to farm profound, but not yet. Still need a little bit more. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and I hope you like it. If you did, if you find it helpful, leave the video a like. It really helps me to notice that people actually are watching the videos. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!